Hello and welcome back to the Abundant Joy Tarot. So today I just wanted to do a quick three card pick a pile for a full moon in Aquarius reading for you. So these are the cards that I chose to kind of draw you into the reading. But when we actually do the reading, this will be obviously your significator giving us a general overview of what's happening for you in this beautiful unfolding of a supermoon, the Aquarius full moon that is happening actually today. And then we will look at, I will do a quick little spread on what do you need to close out of, let go of, release, surrender, and then what then do you need to, what doors are kind of opening for you as this full moon illuminates its light before us, what is going to be illuminated for you. So that's what the readings are going to be. Let's see which one feels right to you. So I'm going to uncover these cards and the stones that I pulled for each of the piles. And then I invite you to just take a moment, breathe, settle in, and see if any of these call to you. And you can jump down to the timestamps and choose your reading. Let's get started. So for pile number 1, the stone that you have is joy. Joy. And the card, slow down to relax, break to enjoy the beauty around you. Hopefully you can see that. Okay. Pile 1. Pile 2, focus. I laugh just because that's what I need. I think this might be my pile. Focus. And surrender with joy. Achieve greatness through surrender. Look at that beautiful card. So that is for pile 2. And then for pile 3, health. We definitely all need that. Health. And your card, determination. Perseverance leads to fortune. Okay, guys, those are your piles. I will pull the cards when we're in the readings. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I will pause the video for just a moment so that you can dial in, check in with spirit and your inner self, and pick which one calls to you. If more than one calls to you, please click on all of them or click on 2 of them, whatever feels like it may have a message for you. In all likelihood, it does. All right, I'll see you soon. Okay, pile number 1, let's get into it. Okay, so I said let's get into it and then realized I needed to turn my air off and get going. So I'm now back to our reading. So pile 1, this is your reading for the full moon in Aquarius, and the stone that you chose was the joy stone. And I'll say that, like, the first thing that comes to mind in seeing this joy stone is that because we're going to be looking at what do you need to release versus what do you want to bring in as we go into this beautiful blossoming supermoon, is whatever is blocking your joy. And I feel like part of it for this pile in particular is really thinking about what is your joy? What actually brings you joy? So I want you to think about that as we're kind of going through this reading. And so just to reiterate again, so what we're doing is I've pulled in your significator card of kind of what is happening there. And then this pile over here, these are your oracle cards for what do you need to release, let go of as we move into this full moon. And then after you're able to release those things, then this side here will pull just a quick spread on what is opening for you, what doors are opening, what do you want to be sort of manifesting or bringing forward into your world. Okay, so to get us started off, your significator card, you got this beautiful card I'm hoping that you can see this well. Slow down to relax, break to enjoy the beauty around you. And this particular oracle card comes from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle. And what's beautiful about this particular deck is that each of these cards has a poem that is associated with it. And this poem is by Rumi. And the poem that comes with this card is patience is not just sitting and waiting. It is visioning. It is looking at the thorn and seeing the rose, looking at the night and seeing the day. Lovers are patient and know that even the moon needs time to become full. How luscious is that for you, pile one? So multiple things here. You know, the first thing I want to say is, like, obviously this is a full moon reading. So, you know, that beautiful last line that it takes time to become full. But the main thing that is standing out to me is this idea of seeing the roses versus the thorns in your life. And for you to really, you know, sort of overarching this reading is for you to find the joy in all of the aspects of your life, in the simple aspects of your life. Take note of them. Like when something makes you smile or makes you chuckle inside or just kind of gives you a good feeling, take note of what that is. Is it a person? Is it something that was said? Is it something that you're seeing, you know, on the internet or whatever? Is it something that you heard in conversation? Is it a hug that you received? Is it just a passing compliment? What is it? What is it that brought you that joy? And acknowledge it. Every time it happens, acknowledge it. Okay? So it talks about, this card also talks about, it says, there are times when we feel weary, drained, and fatigued. Everything seems to be moving at its normal pace, yet our usual energy, drive, and motivation has taken a bit of a dive. This is when our body and soul are telling us to slow down, take care, and do not burn ourselves out. The time has arrived to sit back, relax, and focus on foreseeing the future, okay? Turn your focus inward and towards your spiritual development. You are being called to slow down, all right? So that's the first thing that we're seeing here. And one of the ways that this group can really do that is also by quieting your mind, going into a bit of some meditation if needed. And just so you know, I have shuffled these cards specifically for pile one. So let's look now at what do we need to release? What is kind of coming up for us in regards up to releasing? So you've got, wow. Wow, you got the waning moon. What do you need to release, right? So there's a need for you to really investigate. And it's interesting because this is sort of a winter scene. And it's this sense of like, what is kind of coming, what needs to go, what am I trying to say? What needs to go under, you know, like I'm getting this image of like animals hibernating. What needs to be put to rest? You know, it may not be forever, but there's this sense of here, what do you need to bury under the snow for right now as you get ready to go into this full moon? Confused. The chaos occupying the confusion seems misguided. However, the others are too embroiled in the situation to see clearly. You will need to make it simpler. Yeah, this right here, I think is in complete alignment with the sense of slowing down. The world around you, believe me, if you are in confusion, if someone is making you confused, if somebody is saying things that are confusing, you are an intelligent human being. If something is confusing, you need to pull away from it. Pull back, step back, settle. You know, if people are speaking to you and they're speaking to you from two sides of their mouth, it's confusing, okay? It's confusing when you're just trying to understand. Your confusion is a key, an alert to you to listen to your soul, because divinity and your guides are not confusing. They're very simple. They're very clear. Okay, so if you, beloved, are feeling confused in any aspect of your life, it's time for you to step away and allow yourself to get clear. Okay, and that might be some indication as to what it is that you need to release as we go into this. If there are situations, people, events, whatever it might be that is causing you confusion in your life, take a look at it. It may need to be released. Dagger, fear, worries, tense situations. So I'm getting very clearly that for this particular pile, there is something that is actually happening. It could be it could be an actual individual or the relationship with that individual. It could be a group, right? Like you could be engaged in a group that is causing this. It could be family, extended family, close family, but places in which you are feeling confused, places in which you are feeling a lot of fear or tension. These are things that you need to look very closely at. What piece of that do you need to release? Do you need to release all of it? Which in some cases, that's what I'm getting. And when I say all of it, I mean the relationships, whatever it may be. And maybe it's just one individual, or maybe it's just slowing down. Okay, pulling away, going a little radio silent, if you will, so that you can find your grounding and find your peace and find your clarity. Okay, so now I'm going to pull just a quick 3 card. And again, I've already shuffled these cards to see if there's any other guidance from the tarot in regards to what you need to release. I'm hoping you might not be able to see this. I'm going to do it this way so that you can see it. Okay. All right. So it's actually, okay. But I'm just putting it like that. So the first thing you need to, both of these things actually are saying, because this is what is going on underneath the surface. So you've got the Devil card reversed. Okay, so the Devil card, don't let it scare you, but the Devil card really represents fear. When it is upright, I'm always saying thou art loosed, right? And when it's reversed, to me, this is really talking about what's going on for you internally. So what is happening for you in terms of what you need to release? One is that you need to release some of your internal fear, okay? There's a need for you to be able to let that go. The other thing is you've got this Strength card here. So the other thing I think that's important for you to release is the illusion, if you will, the delusion that you need to power through. Okay, this sort of sense of like you need to have this ultimate strength. You need to power through whatever the situation is. You need to, that your strength needs to show up in a certain type of way. Because what this card is really saying is that you need to lean on your inner strength, your inner guidance, your inner support from the divine and from the spirit guides that walk with you and carry you, and your ancestors that carry you. That is a quiet, gentle strength. It is much stronger than a brute strength. Right? So there's a need for you to understand that and be able to let go of this idea that somehow you need to power through to get to the end of whatever your situation is. It's time for you to kind of surrender and release. All right. You've got this 4 of Pentacles. You have begun to build the foundation of what you need, but there's a need for you to let go of hoarding, of holding on too tightly to that which you think you have gained for fear that you may lose something in the future. What is yours will be, beloved. Okay. What is yours will be. You do not have to power through. You do not have to, kind of wallow in your fear and despair or stay somewhere where you feel chained to get your ultimate good, your divine birthright, your joy. Okay. So there's a need for you when we look at releasing within this full moon. The release for you is about releasing your fears, releasing the need or delusion to kind of burrow through, hold some kind of root strength, and allow yourself to really feel your inner quiet strength that guides you. Allow yourself to be still. Allow yourself to be in meditation so that you can understand and clearly identify that which brings you joy so you can manifest more of it moving forward. And also a need for you to let go of the it's really fear, but the desire to hold so tightly to something that you've gained that your hands, when we hold tightly to something, our hands are not ready to receive. So there's a need for you to be able to let go so that you are ready to receive the abundance that God and the universe have for you. So that's what I have for you all in regards to the full moon. All right. And so now we're going to look at, what do you need to bring forth, right? What do you need to begin to manifest? What do you need to bring in? All right. And you've got, wow, look at that, y'all. You can't make this stuff up. You got moon mastery, the law of attraction, right? So there's a need for you, if we think about the law of attraction, right? The law of attraction has many aspects to it, but the main one that's coming up for me right now, there's so much joy and light in this card, is this idea of what it is that you think about is what you bring about, right? So there's a need for you to really allow yourself to tap into your joy. What I was saying earlier in the reading was for you to be mindful of when you feel joy. Even if it's at the smallest level, you get a slight grin because somebody says something. You see something happen on the street and kind of makes you smile. You smell something that feels good and smells good, and it just kind of gives you a lift. Take notice of every time that occurs, so you begin to understand your joy imprint, if you will. Like, what is it that brings you, uniquely you, joy? And how can you get more of that in your life? Like, it may bring you joy to have mayonnaise on your sandwich. It might not bring me joy, but it may bring you joy. And if it brings you joy, then you need to manifest more of it into your world. Okay. So there's this need of you really tapping into that which you're thinking about, and be mindful of the things that do not bring you joy, that are heavy in your mind. Okay. Watch that doom scrolling, y'all, when we're watching stuff over and over again. Like, look at the things that make you laugh. Look at the things that bring you lightness. And the reason why I say that is not because we want to ignore the reality of our lives. Like, that is all important. We need to know the news. We need to know what's going on. But joy is a vibration. And when you get to that vibration, you want to cultivate more of it, because when you get on that vibration, more of it will come. Okay, so that's why I'm saying allow yourself to be surrounded by your own joy, whatever that may be. And don't judge yourself on what brings you joy. If it brings you joy to, I don't know, skip down the road with, one shoe on, then go skipping, get to skipping. Okay. You've got carrot, opportunity or windfall. Yeah. I also believe that when you can get to this space of joy frequency, when you can begin focusing your attention and your mindset and your whole body, right, on the work of that which you want to manifest or bring into your world, more things are going to open up for you. Okay. When you let go of your fear and confusion, go toward what makes sense, what feels good to you, you're going to see more of that become manifest in your world. And you've got unleash, hold nothing back, expand into the universe. Ashe. Really, what this gives me, real full energy. Take the risk. Jump out into that which brings you joy. Believe me, y'all, you cannot go wrong when you follow your joy. You can't go wrong, because that is your heart key to be able to do the part of the work that is a part of your purpose. All right. So do the work. Yes. Oh my goodness. Beautiful. Oops. Let me see what's going on underneath. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to switch this up because this is what is going on underneath here, y'all. Okay, so what do you need to manifest? How are you moving yourself forward as we step? We're closing out with the full moon, and then what are you bringing in? The first card you get is the Chariot, and I love that for you. That means it's time to move, y'all. It is time to move forward towards your life's purpose. When I talk about you finding your joy, it is because finding your joy is going to lead you to your life purpose. Some of you are already doing it, okay? And it's just a matter of you getting back to your joy. Return, go back and get it, okay? And some of you are just finding it. And that is where these keys of what lifts you up, what brings you joy, is what you need to follow, okay? Because that is going to put you on the path of your life's purpose. The Chariot is when one has learned lessons, they have gone back, they have looked at their light and their shadow and brought those pieces together, and now it is propelling them forward toward their ultimate success. Okay, so that is really, really beautiful. What you may not be aware of that is underneath the current is as you begin to do that work, as you begin to take movements forward, you are going to begin to see reciprocal energy, a give and take, a flow of love. This is also what happens. You know, we talked about this idea of confusion or your fear or things not being clear and being lost in situations and worry. Usually in those situations, you're not dealing with the reciprocal energy, right? So one of the reasons you'll know that you're on your path, and what I want to see you begin to manifest is this, as we move out of this full moon and into the next phases of the moon, what you need to begin to manifest moving forward is this reciprocal love, this reciprocal joy, this reciprocal whatever it is in your life, this easy flow of give and take, easing flow of conversation between two individuals where there's not this jagged fighting, frustration, tension, held, confusion, people not being clear, not being honest, all that. Let that go so that you can step fully into engagements, relationships, events, people, businesses, places where there is a reciprocal flow of good energy, love, hope, communication, honesty, all of that, okay? That's where you need to be putting your energy so that you're propelling yourself on your soul journey. Now, one thing you need to be aware of is you've got the 8 of emotions and the 6 of emotions. There are some things from your past that are holding you back, that no longer serve you. And in order for you to get fully onto your soul purpose, you are going to have to let those things go and instead walk toward your new horizon. All right. So the guidance for you in this message, in this reading, is for you to, as we approach this full moon today, let go of your fear. And I'm focusing on your internal fears, those things that may or may not, and in a lot of cases are probably not true. Okay. But you need to face them head on, face yourself head on, lean on your inner strength. Do not push yourself to power through. If you're exhausted in a relationship, if you're exhausted in a job, if you're exhausted in a situation, it's time for you to slow down to relax, break to enjoy the beauty around you. Okay. Reach for your joy. That is your key. Because this is going to lead you full force toward a new opportunity or windfall, toward that which is in alignment with your purpose and your joy. Okay? Your clues that you need to be looking for is reciprocal energy. Okay? Reciprocal energy in business, in love, in family, in finance, whatever it is. Reciprocal energy. That is what you need to follow to move forward. All right. That's what I'm seeing for y'all. I hope this was helpful. If it was helpful for you, please like and comment. I want to be able to bring more of this to you all. I'd love to hear, what resonates with you. I'm kind of thinking about various ways to bring readings, whether I need to do like weekly, daily readings, or, what we need to do. So I would love to hear if this resonates with you. So if it does, drop a quick comment. I'd love to hear from you. Otherwise, I'll look forward to seeing you again in another reading. Thank you for joining me in Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and I'll see you later. Bye. Hello, Pal 2, and welcome to the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is Ade, and this is going to be your reading on this beautiful full moon in Aquarius. And so, as I said in the beginning, you are drawn in here by the focus stone. And then you've got this beautiful card, Surrender with Joy. Achieve greatness through surrender. Now, I'm going to go into this, but I just want to quickly explain. So again, we are looking at, this is your full moon reading in Aquarius. And this first side over here, I've now shuffled all the cards and prayed over and picked your oracle cards for each pile. And so for this first one, we're going to be looking at, what do you need to release, let go of, move away from as we enter the fullness of this new moon? What do we need to release? And then this part over here will be, okay, what then now is going to be opening for you? What do you want to begin to sort of manifest or move into? What energy is coming in? What energy are you moving away from? Do you need to release? And what are you moving into? All right, so that is what we have for today's reading. And so let's first dig in. So the first stone that you got is focus. And so what is coming up for me in regards to focus is a need for you to, what I'm hearing is, it's more like focus internally, right? So rather than focusing, many of you all may have been focusing deeply, right, on what is going on in your external surroundings, what's going on in social media, what's going on in the news, what's going on at your job, what's going on with your family, you might have the full download on everything and everybody, okay? And yet have no idea about what is going on with you. And so there's a need for you to turn your focus within. Okay, now all of these beautiful cards, these first cards that pulled you in are from this oracle, the Sufi Wisdom Oracle deck, beautiful oracle deck. And each one of these cards also has a poem from one of the Sufi masters. I am not going to be able to say the name of this Sufi master correctly. I want to say it's Guy Sari. I could be totally wrong. So please forgive me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. It's Gheisari. Okay. So I want to read to you the poem by that Sufi master. And it is, grace of God is like the flow of water, and the universe is like the river. Although a drop of water flowing in any part of the river is different from the previous drop, the grace of God remains constant. Everything in existence constantly benefits from God's infinite grace. Only the conditions change from one level to another, and new circumstances evolve every moment for new possibilities. So I just first want to just look at this beautiful card, okay? It says, surrender with joy, achieve greatness through surrender. And as I said before, the feeling that I got from this pile is in turning your focus within, turning your focus on that which brings you joy, and turning your focus on that which is important for your next step of your soul journey, okay? And the only way that we can do that is when we quiet the voices without and listen to the voices within, okay? Remember that the divine and your higher self, that inner guidance, comes often in a whisper, whereas the thoughts in our outside world can literally be screaming. It can be so profoundly loud, surrounded by everyone and everybody and all their thoughts and all their thinking and where the world is and yada, yada, yada. It's important for you to take a step back and really listen to what's going on within. This beautiful card also speaks to your surrender, okay? That there's really a need to surrender. And it says here, dearest, life is presented to you as a divine gift of God. Everything that is created is endowed with all that it needs to continue its own life. Surrender to the flow of whatever is coming to you. Regardless if it's causing pain or joy, accept the unfolding as a part of the chain of cause and effect. Sufi wisdom tells you that the secret to good fortune flows from surrender and selflessness. Okay? The key to transformation from the darkness into the light is hidden inside of you. You need to be content with this transformation within yourself to allow it to change you. Okay? This also comes with a mantra, and it says, I am the living creation of the heart of a loving creator. I am the true expression of the spring of life giving birth to itself. Nothing in life can imprison me again. All right. So part of what this is, I'm really feeling for you all is the need for you to be able to surrender what is true for you. Even if the outside world tells you that it is not true, even if the outside world tries to tell you that you are something that you're not, right? You need to listen to and surrender to what the divine tells you, what your inner guide tells you in terms of who you are, and accept yourself fully, all right? So that's the first overall guidance that I'm getting here, is this real sense of surrender, but surrender to that inner wisdom that is within you. The surrender is not to an outside force that is telling you who you are meant to be. It is surrendering to the inner guidance that is telling you who you are. Okay? So that's the first thing. Let's take a look at your oracle cards in terms of what do you need to release. All right? Nothing is yet set in stone. The mutable moon. Okay, I'm going to take a look at this a little bit here. You've got, this is interesting, just this flow, this kind of need for you to be in the flow, distracted. In your effort to be hyper vigilant, the most important thing of all just slipped right past you, whilst you were distracted by other less significant things. This is what I'm telling you in regards to the focus. It's really important for you to be mindful right now, beloveds who chose pile number 2, of what it is that you're consuming. What are you watching? What are you listening to? Who are you speaking to? Who, what energy is coming into your home or into your physical space, right? And you be the what is it? What do they call? You be the bouncer, right? You be the bouncer of your own energetic world, your own energetic club, okay? You be the bouncer and make sure that you are monitoring what comes in and what goes out, okay? This is going to be important as we look at what you need to release, because there are some things that are happening in your world right now. And it could be things that you're doing yourself. Social media, it just keeps coming up with that distracted, right? This social media or what you're watching on TV. But it's also about who are you just, you spend time with certain individuals and they're just talking about the same things or doing the same things or whatever it is. Limit what you're actually receiving in if it is not allowing you to surrender to your internal guidance and your internal joy. If it is contradicting that, if it's taking energy away from you, then you need to really look at releasing that, okay? You've got crown. Honor and respect will come to you. Now, it's interesting. That's what it says on here. Honor and respect will come to you. But when I saw this crown, the first thing I thought was honor your own head. Okay? Listen to your head. In our tradition, we say ori. Listen to your head. It is guidance. It is an energy. It is a spirit that is supporting you to move forward in your life. Okay? It is important for you, if you get an internal hit that it's this is not supporting me. This is causing me confusion. This is keeping me distracted. This is pulling away my precious time and energy when I know that I need to be doing something else. You need to listen to your head, beloved, and you need to allow your crown, that which is the elevated you in your head, to make the decisions that guide you forward, okay? In conjunction with the divine. So, and then we've got here, nothing is set in stone. You do not, because sometimes we think that even if we made the decision, right? We may think, oh, well, we made the decision, so we need to follow through on that course. Sometimes, and I'm a strong believer, and you do need to finish what you start, but sometimes you've made a path on something and you get some new information, and we make the best decisions with what we know at the time, right? And if you get new information, sometimes you got to be flexible to allow that to happen, okay? Because this nothing is yet set in stone is talking about your movement on a goal, okay? So if you're meandering towards your goal, that's going to be okay, because there may be new information that shifts the direction. So you need to stay adaptable, because that is really going to be the key to your success, okay? Make sure you're not being led astray by somebody else's confusion, distraction, taking you off of the path of where you need to go, okay? But stay with it, whatever it means to you. That's what this card is calling for, okay? So it's really important, you know, it says mutable, because this is the mutable moon, okay? So mutable is all about change, shape-shifting. Something is still developing in your world. And there's a need for you to like stay on your swivel, as they say, right? Be ready to move when you need to move. All right. Nothing is set in stone, including your actions, your own way of being, your own interconnections, your own relationships. When nothing is set in stone, you move with surrendering to your joy. Okay. That's what you need to do. So let's look at what the tarot, and I have already shuffled these and cut these for this pile too as I was praying over this reading. So this 3 card is just to look at what some more information around what do you need to release. Okay. What do you need to release? Interesting. All right, so what I'm getting for you is that what you need to release is the outcome, okay? What you need to release is your idea around what success looks like to you. This desire or need to be celebrated, acknowledged, called out. That should not be your concern right now. I'm going to tell you right now, success is coming to you, okay, beloved? It is coming to you. But what I'm saying is that that's not where your focus needs to be right now. Your focus does not need to be on how you're going to be celebrated at the end of whatever this goal is or whatever it is that you're trying to do. Because I'm getting that this, for some of you, this has to do with career success and that level. Some of you, this has to do with relationship. Okay. So whether it's, you know, sort of being acknowledged, if you will, or just being celebrated, you know, that's what you need to be mindful of. There's a need for you to release your desire for that. Okay. Trust and know that, like, because this is the first card coming up, the 6 of Wands, I believe actually success will 100% be yours. But you need to look at what you're focusing on. Are you focusing on the outcome? How you're going to be perceived? How you're going to be celebrated? Are you focusing on the purpose of what it is that you need to be doing? Are you focusing on your inner guidance? Because sometimes when we're focusing on our inner guidance will tell us to take some actions that may feel like at the time, oh, we're not going to be acknowledged for this. Like, this is not, I'm in the shadows for this. But you got to walk that walk to actually get the success that you so desire. Okay. So that's the first message that I have for you in regards to this full moon, is this need to like let go of what success looks like for you and be about the purpose, be about working with others, be about being in community with others. All right. The other thing that you're going to need to kind of put to rest in your distraction is, how can I say, like, to this need to time. Okay. It's like you need to let go of the outcome and how long it's going to take you to get there, because it's going to take you a minute to get to where you need to go. Okay, pile 2. This is what I'm getting, is that it's going to take you a minute to get to where you need to go. But each step that you're taking is critical in the process. And it is a strong, firm step. You got this beautiful Knight of Pentacles, which Knights are about moving forward. He happens to be the slowest knight in the deck. And he's also very thorough. So each step of the way, you're building your foundation even further towards your success. But there's a need for you to let go of the need for speed, okay? A need for, being celebrated, called out, acknowledged every step of the way. You need to let that go, okay? Because that is not going to serve you. All right, that is not going to serve you. Instead, look for your heart-centered connections. Okay, look for the ways in which you can be in connection with others in community. And if in relationship, then we're talking about, where is the unity, right? Like, where is the bond of unity? And focusing on those things as opposed to focusing on what's in it for you, if you will. They kind of spoke about it in this card around like being mindful of selfishness, right? But I'm characterizing that because I want to also say, like, there's a need for you to have some selfishness in regards to your own joy. But part of surrendering to your own joy is also this sense of selfishness. As it says, Sufi wisdom tells you that the secret to good fortune flows from surrender and selflessness. All right. So I just want to bring that back to the forefront because I feel like that's what this reading is kind of calling on you to. When you think about what are you focusing on, what you need to release at this full moon is this, whatever it is. If you're focusing too closely on what the outcome is, what success needs to look like, how are you going to be acknowledged, or how are you going to be seen in the outcome? That should not be your focus. Okay, loves? It's more about looking for the heart-centered connections, how you can be in the process of working in community and using your own head. Because nothing is set in stone for you right now. Things are mutable, things are moving, and you need to be agile enough to be able to do that. But let go of this firm idea of what success is going to look like for you. That's what you're needing to release at this time. So that's what I have for the release part for you all. And now I'm going to go ahead and pull the cards for, I've already shuffled these cards, but let's look at the oracles in terms of what do you need to bring in. Drawing down the moon, knowledge. Wow. So what you're needing to bring in your situation and in your focus is you need more and more information. You need to put on the cloak of that page, right? The page who is going to be delving in deep, researching a little bit more, uncovering more information about whatever it is that you're dealing with. If you're dealing in a relationship, you need to have more communication and understand what is actually happening. What are the mutual goals, right, within relationship. You're talking about career or some business venture or something like that. There's a need for you to like do that midnight oil burning, looking at, getting more information about something that you are working on, right? Like finding another alternative, doing the research, right? You're literally getting the image of like someone with their glasses on, they got the night lamp on, and they're going in, they're looking for more information than what they currently have, and they're uncovering new pieces and parts to that which they already know, which gives them the edge to be able to move forward. So in regards to what you need to move into, what you need to begin to manifest is gaining more knowledge. For some of you all, that's going to actually be just literally finding someone who has more wisdom on whatever it is that you're dealing with than you, and having a conversation with them and letting them drop some gems on you. But you've got to listen, okay? You've got to listen when those gems get dropped on you, okay? You've got destiny. Wow. It is not in the stars, but in yourself. Wow. So part of what you need to do, and I feel like for this pile as well, there's also a need for kind of slowing down and tapping in. We got that from the first reading. So if you felt pulled to the first reading, you may want to check it out. But there's this sense of like your inner being, your inner knowledge is what is going to propel you forward on your destiny. So allow that inner guidance to lead you to places where you can get more information about whatever it is that you're actually striving toward on your purpose. All right. They're showing me that if you're listening to this pile and you're thinking, I don't even know what my purpose is, they're telling me that actually you do know what your purpose is, but it is within you. So there's a need for you to get still enough to hear that which brings you joy and let that follow you. Listen to the inner whispers of your soul, y'all. Like if you listen to thoughts that may feel random to you. If somebody come across your mind who you haven't talked to like in a long time, you're like, I wonder what they think about X, Y, and Z. Reach out, call them, find out some information. It may surprise you what is uncovered for you on your road. All right. This is what I'm getting from this sense of like, it's not in the stars, but in yourself, you know, in connection with this drawing down the moon, the knowledge piece. There's a need for you to kind of like use your own internal wisdom to guide you to the sources of additional information that you need. All right. And then you've got shield. You need to defend yourself. And what I'm getting here is that for some of you all, so we just talked about releasing some of these things, these sort of ideas about things. And what I'm getting here with this shield is that as you begin to manifest that which you're bringing in, start getting more information about whatever it is that you're needing to bring forward into your life, that you're desiring to bring more into your life that is in alignment with your joy. There's a need for you to be mindful. As I said before, being mindful of what you are bringing in, be your own internal bouncer, right? And this shield is also about what it is that you're wanting to propel outward. There's a need for you to be mindful of where you allow your heart's desire, your soul's purpose, that which brings you joy. Whose ears does it get to land on? Who do you share this information with? You need to protect yourself and make sure that you're protecting that seed, that which is you are planting. Okay. And only allow, if you're planting something, you're nurturing, you're not going to let that rambunctious child who likes to rip up the roots and stuff to come into your garden and destroy the seedling as it's just being planted. Okay. But you might let that, sweet soul that seems to have a tenderness with, younger plants and is easier on the thing to be able to come forward and share their wisdom. So you internally know who's the rambunctious child and who is the wisdom, the nurturer, right? And when it comes to your dreams and what you're manifesting and building, bring in the nurturers, okay? So that's what I'm seeing with this, and then we'll see here what the tarot is saying for you in terms of what you need to bring forward, okay? Oops. Okay. Interesting. All right. So, all right. So, in regards to what is going to be opening for you, okay, this is really interesting because you've got the Seven of Inspirations, the Seven of Wands. And we get that right after we get this card. You need to defend yourself. The Seven of Inspirations, or the Seven of Wands, is also talking about protecting your spiritual space. I mean, look at her. She is like making the space for herself, right? making sure that her bubble around her is divinely covered, right? And so there is a need within this Seven of Wands card for you to be able to create an environment, both externally and internally, that is supporting your work, your transition, your dive in, surrender into your own joy, that which you are breaking forward from. Okay. You've got this beautiful Knight of Emotions. So all nights are going to be about moving forward. So there's a need for you to be able to move forward. But what I'm hearing here is that there's a need for you to move your emotional world forward. Okay. Because the Knight of Emotions, also represents like the Knight of Cups. And it can talk about this idea of like, almost like a fantastical dream, believing in something like, when pigs fly, believing in something that maybe others may find hard to believe in, but to move forward with the message of that too can come true for you. And I feel like that this is kind of a double message in that you need to begin to manifest that which will allow you to surrender to your joy. That's what brings you the most joy. Some people around you may not be able to fully get with the possibility of it because it may be beyond what they can conceive as possible for themselves or for you. Okay. And so there's a need for you to hold your vision and protect it with people that are going to support your vision as opposed to bring it down. All right. And the way that you can do that is to, one, be tapping into the one, be tapping into your fire, and two, be tapping into your water or your emotions. Okay. Because you've got the Muse of Inspirations, which in this deck would represent like the King of Wands. And you've got the Muse of Emotions, which would represent the King of Cups. So let's just talk about that for just a quick minute here. So the King of Wands is going to be the natural born leader. Okay. Walk into the room and everybody pauses, right? The King of Wands is going to be the charismatic leader who is driven by fire. People see them, they're creative, they are passionate, but they are a leader. And people follow them because of their charismatic energy, okay? And then the King of Emotions is going to be that one who is deeply emotionally intelligent, has balanced not only their inner world, but understands the emotions of those around them and is able to balance the two and navigate the waters of both their internal world and the internal world of those that are around them. Okay, these are phenomenal, powerful energies to have with you. And the guidance that I'm seeing here for you in terms of what you need to manifest is to, one, manifest your joy that is based on your passion. That's which ignites your spark in you, gets you excited about waking up in the morning and knowing that you need to protect that spark right now. Okay, as you are manifesting, as you are planting the seeds, as you are stepping into those new doors, it's important for you to be mindful of what is coming in and what is coming out. And to use your inner wisdom, your inner intuition, your inner knowing of your emotional world, okay, to be able to navigate what needs to come next for you. All right. So overall, what I'm seeing for you all is the key messages here is to focus, but to focus internally instead of externally. Don't be so concerned about what other people are going to say, what they think, if they're going to celebrate you, if you're going to win, what you're going to look like. That is not what your concern needs to be. You don't need to focus on that. You need to focus internally. You need to let your belief of what success needs to look like for you go and focus on connection, heart-centered connection, community, and taking it one step at a time. Okay, don't try to rush to the finish line. And then begin to plant the seeds of that which brings you joy, that will allow you to surrender into your joy. Okay, plant the seeds of what's going to allow you to step into your joy and cover it, nurture it, only shield it, right? Shield it. Let it blossom while you begin to step into your full power. Is the King of Wands and the King of Cups, right? This sense of like stepping fully into your passion, your creativity, that which ignites you, as well as being balanced in your emotional world, in the emotional world of those around you. So that's what I'm seeing here for you all. I hope that this resonates. And I wish you a very beautiful full moon. And I'm excited for you in terms of what can happen for you if you begin to shift your focus to your internal world. All right. So if you liked anything that you heard here, if it was resonating with you, please go ahead and like and subscribe. That will help me to continue to build the channel. And please drop a comment. I'd love to hear from you. With that, this is our day. This is the Abundant Joy Tarot, and I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, Pile 3, and welcome to your reading. So again, this is the Abundant Joy Tarot. This is our day, and I am doing your full moon in Aquarius readings. And you were drawn in by this stone, health. Okay. And I'll just say first off the bat, when I pulled this, the first thing that came to my mind was physical and emotional health. But I think they're intertwined in this particular reading in that your physical health, it's both. They're showing me that it's both. Your physical health is affecting your emotional health, or your lack of physical health, or your struggle with your physical health is affecting your emotional health, and your struggle with your emotional health is affecting your physical health. So we know that, as they say, the body keeps the score, that our health issues are actually our body's way of telling us that something is not right, and it's more than just what's happening on the physical level. It's also a manifestation of what is happening for you on an emotional level, right? So this piece about the health is, we're talking about a reading in terms of, this is the full moon in Aquarius. What do we need to release and what do we need to move forward? And so the first thought that came to me when I pulled this stone was that what you need to release is some ways in which you are holding or not holding your physical health. Okay. And there are various reasons why some of you may not be holding your physical health, not giving yourself the time to do what you need because you feel like you don't have the time, or not prioritizing yourself, or not doing, not listening to your body's clues and messages to you when you experience a pain or an uncomfortability, and just sort of ignoring it and pushing yourself to move forward. There's a need for you to be mindful of that. Okay. But that is what I'm seeing as overall here. Now, for some of you, you may be dealing with something that is a longer term issue, and that could be either a physical illness in which you have had to deal with some time, or in the process, or having to deal with something that's kind of more than just a one-off thing, but a regular way in which you need to deal with yourself and take care of yourself because of this ongoing either critical illness, or just what's the word, sustaining, like regular illness, like an illness that keeps going. I can't call what I'm trying to say right now, but some of you are having to deal with that, and I just lost the other train of thought on that. And that the other folks that are here are also dealing with like a sustained I hesitate to say mental, but like emotional / mental illness, extreme anxiety, which is affecting your physical being, right? Depression or sadness, or, anything like all of these things, all of these emotional ailments that we deal with also affect our physical plane. Okay. So there is a need here. The card that pulled you in is this beautiful card, which is determination. Perseverance leads to fortune. There is a big call here from your spirit guides and from the universe to not give up, and to keep taking it one step at a time, whether you're dealing with an ongoing physical illness or an ongoing emotional illness, or both, because they are interchangeable. The guidance here is to Take it one step at a time, but do not stop moving, okay? To continue to be determined to be on your road. This is a beautiful card. These cards here come from the Sufi Wisdom Oracle deck, and each of these cards is associated with a poem. So I'm going to read to you the poem. This one is, all the poems are by Sufi masters, and this is by Hafiz. I apologize if I said that incorrectly, but it's Hafiz, Hafiz. And the poem is, I struggled and suffered for 40 years, never knowing the remedy I was looking for was in a bottle of vintage wine. That sweet success I was hoping to find in my fortune was hidden in the curls of the beloved's hair. So that is the poem, and I feel like what this is really saying to you, and I'm going to share more of this, but it says, when the going gets tough, call on your power of perseverance. No matter how hard it is or how long it takes, be steadfast in what you are doing. Hafiz is sharing how he was able to taste the pleasure of being in the arms of his beloved through persistence. He did so by doing everything with joy and determination. In this way, perseverance turns vinegar into vintage wine. Okay, so this beautiful card is saying, give up wondering how to find your place in life. Follow your calling like it is the North Star guiding you in every pursuit. As you faithfully pursue your desires, a way will open and you will be guided to other opportunities and blessings even beyond your dreams. Okay, so what I'm getting here is for you all, it's almost like this is also pointing to that the blessings are in the journey. But do not give up. Do not be focused on the final outcome, but know that you are in the process of, I'm being told, of healing your mind, body, and spirit. And what you need to do is be determined in your actions and how you're moving forward. Okay, now is the time for you to organize and use your time wisely. Pursue the opportunities that can bring blessings to you. If you want to enjoy the journey, be willing to use your leadership skills as well as the skills and experiences of other people who can help you along the way. Okay, it's important for you to tap into your own inner knowledge here. Particularly if for those of you who are dealing with the healthcare system of some kind, or, medical establishment, if you will, it is really important for you to let go of a victim mindset, okay? And make sure that you are putting yourself first when you are in appointments with doctors, or just don't go with a proactive mindset, okay? What do you need to know to pull you forward? If there's something that you're like, well, I wonder if they've thought about this, ask the question. Ask the question, because they may not even bring it up. They may not. Oftentimes, particularly in Western medicine, they're looking at one part of the body. God bless them. They're looking at one piece, but they're not looking at the whole of the system or how other things may be impacting you. So if you have a question of like, oh, I wonder if the fact that I've been staying up at night because I'm so worried is affecting my bowel movements. Forgive me for I couldn't think of anything better. But that you ask the question. You see what I'm saying? Because they may not tie all of the pieces together. There's a need for you to kind of like take the lead, if you will. This is the energy that I'm getting, y'all, in regards to your own health. If you get the feeling that like you need to go talk to somebody, you better get on the phone and find that therapist and get somebody that you can talk to, that you can be able to release what you need to release. All right. Listen to your own body and your own spirit in terms of what you need. If you're like, oh, I think I really need to get my foot checked out. I need to, and you and nobody in your family ever been to a podiatrist. You better look at the podiatrist and figure out, what information is there, but go, you take the lead of your health. Okay. Be determined in moving forward and having radiant, abundant health in your life. Okay. This is for pile number 3. All right. So let's take a look here in terms of getting some more information around what it is that you need to release during this full moon. And so I pulled these 3 oracle cards, and then I've already shuffled and cut the decks. So this is the tarot deck, the Light Seers deck that we're going to use for what do you need to release. And then these oracle cards and the Muse deck we're going to use for what is going to be opening for you. What do you need to manifest moving forward? So let's look at what we need to release first. And you've got, look at the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. Hope you can see that. Okay. So, this card right here is asking you to take a step back. All right. Sometimes, particularly if we're dealing with some kind of issue, like one particular issue that has thrown us, a health issue or mental illness issue or something, we can get bogged down into the details of that particular situation. And this card reminds me actually of what they were showing me earlier when I was just saying, like, there's a need for you to like connect the dots and look at all the pieces. And if you feel pulled to ask a question where it seems like maybe the two things are not related with the medical appointment, you need to do that. And part of the way that you'll be able to do that is for you also to take a step back and look at the situation and see what else may be tying into how you're feeling physically, emotionally, or spiritually. What are the factors in your environment? There may be something that is there for you to uncover. Are you dealing with a lot of allergy stuff and not realizing that actually you're in this new home environment that has mold or has, some allergen that you didn't even know you were allergic to and is causing this other issue? Sometimes we think we're like overly exhausted, but there actually is something going on with us physically that is literally draining us. Or maybe it's a medication that we started taking and we didn't realize that there was another side effect there. Okay, because they didn't mention it and you have the side effect, but nobody else has the side effect or whatever it may be. There's a need for you to really take a step back in your life. If you're not dealing with health issues and you chose this pile, what is it in your environment that you are needling down on and not able to kind of look at the big picture? Okay, it's important for you to take a look at the big picture in terms of being able to see clearly what it is that you need to release. You've also got anguish. Look at that. Simply knowing there is an end to this feeling of sorrow is the very beginning of your healing process. And this is interesting because I was feeling that already in the beginning that some of you are dealing with a higher level of anxiety that is affecting your physical health. But this is why it's important for you to take a step back, because you need to make sure that you've got all of the information you need to look at your situation. And if you can take a step back, you'll get a greater sense of clarity. And as this card says, just knowing that there could be an end, just knowing that there is additional information that you were not aware of is going to be the very beginning of your healing process. It's going to allow you to find, if you don't know the correct cause of something, you cannot find the correct salve, the correct remedy, right? The healing solution. Right. And oftentimes with the medical establishment, they may not know what the cause is. And so they're just throwing a bunch of remedies at you. And then you have to try to navigate whether or not that remedy is actually working for you. So there's a call here for you to like take a step back and look at the bigger picture and see if there's other pieces of information that can help you make sure that you really understand what is the cause of your anxiety? What is the cause of your physical ailment that you're dealing with? What is the cause of, whatever it is, your depression, your sadness? What is it? What is the cause? And then that will help you get to the remedy. And part of the way that you do that is to take a step back. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing here. And then you've got, look at that, bread, period of prosperity and abundance. All right. So in regards to letting go, all right, in regards to releasing, there isn't, first of all, they're telling me very clearly, there's a need for you at this new moon to release the idea that you were in this battle alone. That's what just came through, okay? The other thing is releasing the idea that there is only one solution, okay? And taking a step back, like releasing the idea of being, what's that word? Like too focused on a specific detail, okay? And being able to take a step back, take a look back, okay? One of the other readings said, nothing is set in stone. And that just kind of like popped into my head again, is that for you, with regards to your health issues, whether they've told you this is what is happening with you and this is the only thing that's going to happen next or not, you go by what your determination and your guidance and what you want to manifest for your life. Do not let anybody speak over what is possible for you in regards to your health, okay? Because they're still learning, okay? Everybody's still learning. So you listen to your inner guidance to guide you through and seek information. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture, all right? I'm getting that very, very strongly for some of you all. All right, so let's take a look at what the tarot says in regards to what you might need to release during this full moon right now, okay? Mm. 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 There's a lot of there's a need for you to really surrender, because there are some endings that are here. And to use your intellect. Underneath the bottom of the deck, we got the Queen of Swords. And so there's a need for you to use your own mental capacity, your intelligence, to guide you in your thinking. Do not underestimate yourself, Pile 3. Okay? Just because you're not a medical doctor, or you're not a therapist, or you're not you haven't done extensive research on whatever it is that you're dealing with, do not underestimate your own intellect, your own knowledge of you. Nobody knows your body more than you, okay? So make sure that you're listening to your body and bringing up questions. There is no stupid question. And if somebody makes you feel that way, then you might need to look for another provider, okay? Because you need to have agency in your own body and your own health, all right? One of the things that you're going to need to release all right. I just was kind of getting a little bit of a downhill. Some of you are going to need to release your work, okay? And what I mean by that is overworking. You've got the Eight of Pentacles here, which I usually read as very positive, like mastering your work, mastering, But what I'm getting here for you all is that there's a need to release this sort of sense of workaholism and this sort of sense of like, this need to be over informed about a given situation. It's like burning the midnight oil. Like there's a need for you to release that, because that is affecting your health. Okay. So that's the first thing. You are overburdened. You got the 10 of Wands here, which is letting me know that you've been carrying the load all by yourself, and that it is difficult, and it has been extremely difficult for you. The good thing about 10s, which you have 2 of them here, you have the 10 of Swords and the 10 of Wands, which is the 10 of Swords is going to be a painful completion. Things that are ending. Also, the Swords is going to be talking about your intellect, your mental. You've like mentally exhausted yourself, pile number 3, with regards to this issue, to that which you need to release. And at this point, these 10s are really asking you to surrender. To surrender. Okay. The energy here is to let go, right? To let go and allow something new to emerge. All right. Focus on the heart-centered connections that you may have. And when I say that in regards to your health issue, this is going to be your inner guidance is what I'm really getting. Like, know thyself, listening to your own inner being and holding that in a space of love, like holding yourself within a space of love. In addition to that, if there are people that are around you in which you have a heart-centered connection, allowing that heart-centered connection to also be a healing salve for you, okay? To be a healing salve for you. But the main thing in terms of this full moon is for you to release, surrender, okay? Trust and know that that which you are letting die, right? Rest, put to rest. This sense of working too hard, of feeling like you need to know everything about everything, okay? There's a need for you to let that go and relax into that which you know. I hope that makes sense because that's how it kind of came out. To let go and to relax into that which you know. Don't try to just over know. You know, they're asking you to not over know, to release that, but to also trust in your own intellect. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing in regards to your releasing for this full moon. And now we're going to take a look at, you know, what might be opening for you and what do you need to consider bringing more into. And you've got, look at that, the moon's wisdom. Take the lead. Thank you, Spirit. This is confirmation of what I was saying earlier about trusting your own leadership with regards to your mind, body, and soul. Okay. This card is about you taking the lead in your health, all levels of your health, physical and emotional, because that's kind of what we're talking about here. You need to trust your own inner guidance. All right. Ask questions if you need to ask questions. Do not belittle yourself. Do not put down your own internal wisdom, your own internal knowing about your physical body or your emotional health. If you feel like you're at the end of your rope, child, you're at the end of your rope and you need to get the help that you need to get to be able to support yourself. If you feel like something is, you know, you've got some physical ailment that you've been hearing, you know, that you've been feeling, and you go to the doctor and try to tell them, well, that's not really typically normal. Is that, you know, and they're kind of trying to tell you that you're not feeling what you're feeling. No, ma'am or sir. You need to pay attention to what you are feeling. Okay. And you need to take authority over your own health. Okay. It is very important. Nobody can tell you how you feel, all right? Whether or not it was written in some book somewhere or not does not matter. You know what you feel. Oh, well, that's not typical. That doesn't typically happen. You don't typically have a pain in your right foot and in your left arm. Well, yes, I do. And this is what I have been feeling. So we're going to have to figure it out together. Okay, this is what I'm just saying. This is the attitude that you need to have around really respecting what you feel in your own body, physically and emotionally. Take the lead. Eternity. Give yourself permission to slow down. Okay, so that's what we're bringing in. Okay, love, this is what we're bringing in. You taking the lead, acknowledging and giving validity to that which you feel emotionally and physically. And know that there is time to resolve this. Give yourself permission to do what you need to do to take care of your health. Egg. Success assured with good plans and hard work. Okay. So what I'm really getting here is that you just need to take the lead on guiding your own radiant health at all levels. Okay. And trust and know that you are being held through this process. So just make sure that you do not abandon yourself, beloveds. All of you who chose pile number 3, do not abandon yourself. Trust and know that your intellect can help guide you. Put aside any ideas of not being enough. Put aside any ideas of giving up, because your path is about determination and continuing to persevere and move yourself towards your fortune. Pay attention to the journey, because that is where the joy is. Now let's see here what the tarot is saying in regards to what you need to be bringing forward. There she is again. So at the bottom of the deck there we got the Queen of Swords, and here we got the Queen of Swords again. This is about you really being able to use your sense of judgment, your sense of intellect, your mental clarity, okay? Trust yourself, pile 3. This is the main thing. The other thing that I want to say in terms of what you need to bring into is choices, all right? You've got the 7 of emotions, and what this is telling me is that you need to really listen to your heart center. You have more choices available to you than you think, all right? So it's going to be really important for you in regards to thinking about what's possible for you, in regards to your health, in regards to moving forward, that there are some other options for you. If for example, we're talking about physical health and you've been working within the Western doctors that you've been dealing with, there are other options. Maybe you explore some alternative health options, whether that be massage therapy, acupuncture, acupressure, any chiropractic, I don't know, any type of other kinds of healing modalities that will help you to get what you need. Alternative medication, herbs, your spirit will guide you. Use your intellect and tap into your inner guidance to guide you with regards to what steps. But the main thing you need to be aware of is to trust and know that there are always options, and that there are more options available to you if you tap in and listen to your heart to guide you, okay? The other thing that you need to do is you need to lean on your community. You need to lean on other people who are willing to do the work with you, who are willing to collaborate with you in regards to your own physical, mental, and emotional health, okay? Whether that be a therapist or a family member or a good friend who is willing to hey, I was interested in looking at this alternative thing. What do you know about it? They might be willing to do some research. They might have a different conversation with you. They may give you some good ideas of questions that you can ask a provider to support you. They can help you find additional sources of support and help but you need to take the lead, pile 3, okay? Because this is what we got here. Take the lead, okay? Use your wisdom and your intellect to take the lead. You've got this, okay? That's what this card also says, is you've got this, all right? I 100% believe in you, pile 3. There are going to be some things that you're going to need to walk away from that are causing you harm. If every time you eat chocolate, beloved, you get a migraine, I'm going to need you to put that chocolate down, okay? If you know that if you overindulge in milk products, you got an issue all night long, I'm going to need you to look at that intake and see if there's some alternatives that will be able to satisfy your need to have that, all right? There's a need for you to be able to put some things down that are no longer serving you. If that toxic relationship is causing you to cry every night or be in so much anxiety you can barely function, then you're going to need to look at a new way of maybe possibly walking away from that toxic individual, okay? And finding the support you need to sustain yourself as you get to a more stable ground. Take the lead, pile 3, okay? So this full moon is about letting go of some of this toxicity around workaholism, about being overloaded, letting things die that need to die, okay? So that you can be birthed unto yourself. Take the lead in your radiant health. Persevere toward your success and it is there for you. And don't forget that you're not alone in this. You've got community and you've got more choices than you believe possible. All right. So that's what I'm seeing for you all. I hope this resonated with you. If it did, please like and subscribe. The Abundant Joy Tarot. This is our day. It is always my pleasure to read for you. And I will look forward to seeing you at another time. Have a glorious full moon. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.